Welcome to the Career Mindset Podcast, a mini series of Balance4Blue, Zen4Blue's official podcast. I am Beverly Williams, founder of Zen4Blue, joined by co-hostess Miss Hannah Karki, Teen Petite USA, and the newest member of the Zen4Blue Mindset Refresh Program. Together we share with you career tips and tricks, self-value routines, and work-life reboot strategies. Listen in as we uncover the psychology behind a successful career mindset, helping you not only survive, but to thrive in the workplace.
My name is Hannah Karki, and I am your Teen Petite USA 2024, and I am 18 years old. I am a freshman at the University of Vermont studying psychology. I also run a nonprofit for suicide prevention, Safe Space Suicide Prevention.
I'm absolutely stoked to have you on this podcast, Hannah. This is going to be so much fun because I've always wondered why people picked their favorite animals and why they even picked their favorite career to begin with. And now that we have a resident expert psychology major on our team, I would love to explore the reasoning and the brain composition and the oxytocin reasons that we pick our favorite animals.
Yeah, so humans often choose their favorite animals based on their psychological factors that reflect their own personality. For example, my favorite animal is the harbor seal, and harbor seals are very social, very bubbly, and that pretty much reflects my personality as a person. And we also pick animals because of our personal preferences, our personalities, and our desires. So, for instance, individuals who favor animals like lions or wolves may identify with traits such as leadership, confidence, responsibility, and independence just because of how the animals are, and more like because the human being picking those animals relates to that.
That's absolutely amazing. I love how you mention that wolves kind of work in packs. They're very loyal and family oriented. You know, the orca whale is actually known as the wolf of the sea because they are so loyal and family oriented and travel together in pods. The mothers often stay with their young and teach them how to hunt for prey. And whales are very friendly, social animals and tend to stay with their pods for their entire lifetime.
That is amazing. I didn't know that. I feel like for me, I know nothing about animals. So for me, this is a huge learning curve, but I'm really excited. I think we also pick animals just because we think they're very cute as well. I know for me, I definitely didn't know when I picked the harbor seal that it really matched with my personality until I did research about it. But I know a lot of people who pick dogs, cats, animals like that just because they are super cute and adorable. But usually, this perspective of picking an animal because our personalities and our preferences is not only a reflection of our own traits, but of the qualities we seek in others. So, our friends, our family members, people we hang out with, usually is reflected in our animal choice, which I think is really interesting and very different. For instance, individuals who favor animals like lions and wolves may identify with traits such as leadership, confidence, and independence, so just more outgoing. And conversely, people who prefer animals like turtles and owls may value introspection, wisdom, and sensitivity. These connections between animals and preferences and personality traits suggest that our favorite animals can serve as mirrors for our inner selves, highlighting qualities we admire or aspire to embody. Also, humans perceive certain animals as cute due to a combination of evolutionary and psychological factors. One key element is what I've learned of baby schema, which is features like large eyes, round faces, and small mouths that can trigger nurturing instincts. So, this concept was introduced by Conrad Lorenz, suggesting that these juvenile characteristics elicit caregiving behaviors, which are vital for survival of offsprings. So, it's almost like we like these animals because we see them as cute or in need of help, almost, which I think is really interesting too.
That's interesting. I like that too. I would say my favorite sea mammal is probably a sea otter for that very reason. Because if you ever watch sea otters, they're first of all, they're absolutely adorable. Let's be honest. And they're use of tools and they swim around and they're having fun and they wrap themselves up in kelp blankets. But what is the most endearing part is when the mothers carry the babies on top of their chest and they look like they're just cuddling and snuggling. And what the sea otter mother is actually doing is keeping the baby warm because the Pacific Ocean is actually so cold that the baby has to take breaks with the mother in order to regulate their blood temperature. It's so cute.
That is so amazing. I never knew this. I'm learning so much within this one episode. I can't even believe it. Also, observing cute animals can stimulate the release of oxytocin, which is a hormone associated with bonding and affection. And this biochemical response enhances feelings of warmth and gentleness, reinforcing the desire to care for these creatures. So it's also a psychological thing that we have when we see these animals, we want to take care of them, which I think is super interesting too. And maybe why I'm not sure if this is true, I'm just making questions. Maybe why some people want to be working with animals because of the release of that hormone.
I wonder too if that's how people become affiliated with shark research versus sea turtle research. And me personally, I prefer a tropical, warm beach type of place, which is the opposite of what a sea otter lives in. So there's a little bit of diversity there, which I find is interesting. And that might have something to do with my environmental factors as well.
So I don't really know the psychology behind that, but maybe in one of our next episodes we could dive deeper into understanding how we pick our animals and how does environment relate to our picking of animals, because sometimes I feel like I don't even think about the environment because I just saw the animal and I was like, ooh, the animal is cute. I didn't really think about the I didn't really think about, oh, I live in a snowy environment and this animal lives in like the sea, and I don't like living in a snowy environment. I want to live outside in the warmth. I think it's really cool that it's a little different and that maybe even though like personality wise it's the same, our environment is different to our animal.
I love that because being from Vermont and being in a snowy climate could have influenced your inner child and your development in your younger ages. And I wonder if that's why you have an affinity for them as well.
I feel like seals are an animal that everyone likes because I feel like every seal, no matter what, is very cute. And I think that's really what I look for in an animal. But I think we could ask a lot of different psychological questions, maybe related to stress, behavior, your personality, what you do on the weekends, your activities in life, which I think is super interesting and how they could relate to which seal you pick.
I love it. This is so much fun. I have a surprise for you, Hannah. Guess what Zen4Blue made? We made a seal quiz. Now, everyone listening, go to the website, sign up for the March newsletter as soon as you can, because we have a psychology quiz ready for you to figure out which seal species matches your personality and is your secret favorite.
What type of questions did the quiz have that you picked from?
Oh, it's great. It asked me how I handle stress in my personal environment. It asked me how I relate to other social situations. It asked me if I like being in group settings or if I prefer to spend time alone. It's a really fascinating quiz. I can't wait to share it with everyone in our March newsletter.
I would love to take it to see what type of seal I am because what if I'm not the harbor seal?
Ooh, the plot thickens.
Like, just because I like it doesn't mean I am it. But I would love to see what would happen.
That's true too. I feel like a lot of people going out to college, and I think Hannah, you can relate to this as well. You start going to university or a career, and you get into it and realize, this just isn't my passion. This just isn't what I want to do anymore. And I wonder what the brain chemistry shift is between wanting to, let's say, we'll just use the shark researcher as an example again. I've now mentioned that twice. Perhaps that is an innate connection with the shark, or because of where I am in my life right now, I'm feeling more independent and more confident and more of an apex character in my own life that I'm now relating to the shark versus when I was a child I wanted to be a dolphin trainer.
I think it's all about the way we grow. For me, like you said, I can relate to it because I did switch my major this semester, and I think it was the most stressful thing I've ever done in my life. I was so worried that I was making the wrong decision by switching. I used to be a music education major when I started college, and I was really on the fence about what I wanted to do with my life. And I was worried all first semester because I had no idea what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted to help people, but I had no idea. I knew my root cause, but I didn't know how I wanted to get there. And so I totally understand the switch in thinking. And for me, I think I chose music education because I thought, oh, I really love this major because I love music. And when I went in, I realized that music for me is all about fun. It's about meeting people. And for me, maybe that isn't my major. And when I got into the music classroom, I realized that I was expecting a different result than what I got. And so I switched my major to human development and psychology, like just in the blink of an eye. I just did it one day and I was like, you know what? Why not? There's nothing to lose. We're just going to do it. We're going to find out. And it feels like almost a leap of faith, but I really think that I think it's really just an understanding of who you want to be. I think there's always a root cause when we're growing up that we always have something we know we really want to do, but we're not sure what like how to get there. And I think for me in my case, I knew what I wanted to do since I was really young. I've always wanted to be in the teaching realm and help people. I just didn't know how I wanted to do it or in what way I could do it. So for me now, doing psych and doing human development, I can understand how to help people, and I can also learn about our human responses to things and our psychological backgrounds and how they relate to our environment and impact us with our epigenetics. Those changes in life, those are super normal, one. And two, I think it is really hard to fathom it sometimes that we're going through this scary change and we have no idea what to do. And it's all this emotion that's like obliterating everywhere. And you're so nervous. But truly, those leaps of faith are the moments that make us who we are. And those are what shape us who we are. So I think it's really just growing as a person, but also taking those moments to understand that those are going to get us to where we're going to be in life. And those are going to be things we lean back on too.
I think this is why you and I collaborated so seamlessly for this Marine Careers and Mindset podcast is it's a great opportunity for us to talk about change, talk about our self values and who we are and who we strive to be, and find our true passion based on what we actually want and not what society expects from us. I also think it's really important to note a lot of Marine careers and a lot of fields there are niche and unique career paths for everyone that don't always require an academic pathway. Sometimes there's specialized training courses, there's online courses now, there's certification programs people can do, there's field training. And I think that's a really exciting opportunity for Zen for Blue to fill that niche and to bridge the gap between the people who really want to save the ocean today but may not have the dedication to go to university, or maybe they don't have the financial means or the time. And I'm excited to keep exploring that marine career and any career mindset development that can bring anyone to their passion, regardless of the pathway. All right, Hannah. Oh my gosh, that was so much fun. Thank you again for being the co-hostess with this career mindset mini series. And on our next episode, Hannah's going to take the stage quite literally, and she's going to teach us interview techniques. Can you just give us just a brief sneak peek of what we can expect?
So, what you're going to expect from me is just what I've learned from interview with pageants for almost doing them for 4 years. I have been through a lot of interviews and I've learned how to be in the situation where I can talk about things on my resume and just personal values that I have in a structured work environment that employers or people, if you want us to do a pageant, can learn and use and understand. And so I'm really excited to do it. Interview is my favorite part of pageants and being able to speak with judges about my personal beliefs, who I am. And I think it's all about having a friendly conversation. So I'm so excited to be sharing that.
Hey, you never know. I might even have a couple of questions for you up my sleeve.